Alright folks, welcome back. PrepperNow. Time for another drive and talk, because that's all I got time to do. Roll it again. So I read an article how the state attorney generals of 19 different states are filing, basically they're challenging Trump on his executive order from March 25th, 2025. So what was that, PrepperNow? Well, basically he said that he did an executive order for voter integrity. Got to have certain things to be able to vote, and you can't just send in a ballot and you got to wait for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days after or longer to have it counted. Like as soon as as the date is over, if you don't got it in by election date, by when it's supposed to be in, doesn't count. And he cited Denmark and Sweden as other countries that do this. So of course this is led by California and their Attorney General Bonta. And the Attorney General basically said that you have the Voting Rights Act, I think that's what it's called, that is in there, and Trump can't affect anything because the only way to stop this, change elections on a federal level, it has to be done through the federal Congress. So the senators got to get in and do it, the House of Representatives have to agree, whatever the process is. Basically, you need an act of Congress for that stuff to stop. And what are some of the things that they allow through the act, the original act, that they say is good enough, these 19 AGs? Well, they say that basically you don't need ID, and you can get signed up, and they'll threaten you with an act of perjury if you lie, but you don't have to worry about properly vetting yourself through identification or other means to prove that you are who you are and that you can actually vote in a federal election. Trump and the GOP, or the administration, basically said that there's no way to vet that people do criminal things, and the only way to properly stop it is to have actual voter ID and other ways to prove you have citizenship and you are actually able to vote in a federal election. Now, to me, that seems pretty common sense, but then again, we're talking about our federal government. I don't have to remind you of all the things that have been coming out, as to our government and, the way that they conduct their elections and all of the potential for someone to game the system. It's just the fact that sometimes people do these things. We've all seen numerous issues that have played themselves out in the press and in court. I think it's pretty much common sense that if you're wanting to vote, you should have identification to prove who you are. If I want to go and buy alcohol, I have to have proper identification. If I want to go buy cigarettes, I have to have proper identification. If I need to go get a marriage license, I have to have proper identification. There are numerous times in our life where we have to go and get proper identification to prove who we are so we can do what we want to do. I don't think it's too much to ask for someone to have to do something on that level, for someone to have to produce an identification so they can vote in a federal election. I think it's pretty common sense. Evidently not for these 19 attorney generals, and of course they cite that it's prejudiced and other things to require such stuff, and it hinders everybody's right to vote. I don't know about you, but it doesn't seem really to hinder anyone's right to vote by having ID. I remember when we went and voted, and of course I'm in the blue state of Maryland, and you bet your bottom dollar they're a part of this 19 AGs that challenged this. They didn't have to check me off or anything. I didn't need any identification. Walked right in, said who I was, said where I lived. They said, okay, here you go, here's your ballot. You know people game the system. So, you mark my words, this will get struck down. The executive order, the 19 AGs will win this. You mark my words. I bet everything I own on it. So, all I can say is get ready for that to tick you off here pretty soon, and, well, we'll just have to figure out another way. I doubt we can get Congress together to fix all this stuff. We've been wanting them to fix all kinds of stuff before, and we're still in the mess that we are, so we'll just have to see. Alright, friends, see you on the next one when I get a chance to do it. Sorry I haven't been able to live stream. I'm going down to see Mama, so I probably won't be posting tomorrow. So all of the help and love and prayers and subscription and, you know, darken the bell and all that kind of stuff. Check me out on the other areas like Subscribestar, Locals, Twitter X, Gab, Minds, and Truth. And I would love to have you in the PrepperNow community. Growing, albeit slowly, but growing. Get a little bit better every day because we just keep doing what we do. And we appreciate you for being a part of it. Have a great night.